Example 2, let's go ahead and find the positives here. How many positives are you going to get? Just one. Let's analyze the negatives. So it's going to be negative x to the third plus 3x squared plus x minus 3. So for your negatives, there's one sign switch and then it switches again. So you're going to get 2 negatives or none at all. All right, y'all. This one, let's check to see if it factors by grouping. Y'all, it does. It factors by grouping. So that's going to be a group. And the last two are a group. You always break them up in even groups. Okay, this first group right here. What can I take out of this? X squared. Awesome. Let's do it. All right, there were 3 x's. I took one out. I took 2 out. There's one left. 3x squared. I took all of the x squared out, so that's going to be plus 3. Okay. Ooh. What's the first thing you see in this next group? Negative. You have to take out the negative. And guys, remember, when you take out the negative, all of the signs change. So the x and the 3 become positive. Y'all, look, I still get answers like this on factor drills. I had answers like this last week on the factor drill. You are this close. You are this close to being done. This isn't done. You got to put these two in its own factor. So this is going to be x squared minus 1. That should be hurting your eyes. And then you write your match, x plus 3. That's hurting me. That's killing me right now. What's going on with this? You got to keep going. This is the difference of 2 squares. So this is going to be x minus 1, x plus 1, and then x plus 3. So there's your factored form. So let's look at our answers. X is going to equal positive 1, negative 1, negative 3. Cool. Let's look at our self-checks. Degree of 3, 3 answers. Awesome. I had to have only one positive. I did right here. And I had 2 negatives. We're set. Let's box it in. All right, next one. For my positives, it only changes one time. Let's analyze the negatives. So for my negatives, it changes twice. So we're going to have 2 or none. And guys, I would try to factor by grouping. But if we tried to factor by grouping, we wouldn't get a match for the leftovers. So it's not factorable. So we're guessing and checking. So we need an answer bank. The answer bank is called the possible rational zeros. I'm abbreviating. Remember, it is P over Q. The factors of P over Q. Bless you. So the p-value are all the factors that multiply to a 6. 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. We're going to be dividing that by the factors of the leading coefficient. That's just 1. So again, guys, your answer bank are all the positive and negatives for 1, 2, 3, and 6. Y'all have time to guess and check. The only way we can do that is through division, the easiest way. So we're going to list these coefficients. So this time it's a positive 1, a positive 2, a negative 5, and a negative 6. And I'm just going to try positive 1. I'm going to put a positive 1 right here, see what happens. All right, let's run through this synthetic division business. Bring down your first number. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. A negative 5 and a positive 3 is a negative 2. A 1 times a negative 2 is making me sad because that does not equal 0. We're going to have to try again, guys. Let's try a negative 1 this time. I'm going to repeat the first row. 1, 2, negative 5, negative 6. Let's see what happens. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. 2 with a negative 1 is a 1. A negative 1 times a 1 is a negative 1. A negative 5 and a negative 1 is a negative 6. Here we go. Negative 1 times negative 6 is making me for sure happy. We found it. All right. So please remember, y'all, this is always the opposite. So that's a negative 1. So I know x plus 1 is a factor. Don't forget that part. Let's go ahead and write this in polynomial form. X squared plus x minus 6 looks oh so familiar. Numbers that multiply down to a negative 6 but add up to a positive 1 is going to be a positive 3 and a negative 2. So this factors to x plus 3 and x minus 2. So if I write the polynomial in complete factored form, it's going to look like this. I'm going to start with this one, x plus 1. Then I'm going to write these, x plus 3, x minus 2. So I know x is going to equal negative 1, negative 3, and positive 2. 3 answers, 3 degrees. I am fulfilling my 2 negatives. I had exactly 1 positive. We are set. That's the answer.